Little People Big World star Amy Roloff has confirmed she is pregnant with twins. The reality TV star and matriarch of the Roloff family shared the news quietly on social media, surprising fans and family alike. The post included a photo of two tiny onesies and a simple caption, "Double the joy. Double the love. Coming soon." This marks Amy's first pregnancy with husband Marek. The couple married in August 2021 and have often shared glimpses of their life together since leaving the spotlight of Little People, Big World. Although they've remained involved with family and occasionally in public events, they've mostly embraced privacy and a slower pace of life. The pregnancy announcement came as a shock not because they didn't want children, but because of Amy's age and the couple's previous comments about simply enjoying their life as empty nesters. Family members were reportedly among the first to hear the news. Amy's 4 children, Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob, were said to be stunned, but supportive. Some sources close to the family said that Zach, who has 3 children of his own, teared up when Amy told him she was expecting again. Jeremy sent flowers and called his mother brave, glowing, and truly blessed. Molly and Jacob kept things low-key, but both expressed joy at welcoming 2 new siblings into the world. Amy is now in her early 60s, and she acknowledged that carrying twins at this age is unexpected, challenging, and exciting. In a short video message, Amy said, "This was not something we were planning, but it's something we've embraced. These babies are miracles, and we're preparing our home and hearts for them." Marek also shared his feelings, saying, "Amy is incredible. She's handling everything with grace. We're taking it day by day, keeping things simple and staying hopeful." He admitted he never expected to be a first-time father at this point in life, but called it the most amazing twist life could give us. Doctors have reportedly given Amy good health reports so far. The twins are fraternal and developing well. The couple is working closely with a medical team to monitor the pregnancy. Amy mentioned she is focusing on eating well, walking every day, getting rest, and listening to my body. She also said she feels more prepared emotionally now than when she had her first children decades ago. Chris and Amy have begun to make changes to their home. A nursery is in the works, and Chris has been seen buying baby furniture. Friends close to the couple say the house feels filled with energy again, and that Amy has been smiling more than ever. Though they have no plans to return to reality TV full-time, they have hinted that they may share occasional updates with fans through social media. The rest of the Roloff family has responded positively. Matt Roloff, Amy's ex-husband, sent a congratulatory message and told friends that while the news surprised him, he's happy for Amy. He said their children will get to experience a new side of their mother, and he looks forward to seeing how the family evolves. Karen Chandler, Matt's fiancée, reportedly told Amy she would be happy to help however she could. Chris and Karen had met a few times before and have a cordial relationship. Amy's daughter-in-law Tori, married to Zach, posted a message on Instagram saying, "I can't believe our kids will have twin aunts or uncles younger than them. Life is funny and beautiful. We're thrilled." Fans online have flooded Amy's pages with messages of encouragement. Comments include notes from other mothers who had babies later in life, especially twins. Many users called her an inspiration, while others simply said, "Congratulations," and miracles happen. Despite the joy, Amy has kept her expectations grounded. She said she knows this journey won't be easy. She has acknowledged the risks involved but has chosen to focus on what she can control, her mindset, her health, and the love growing inside her. She and Chris have begun attending parenting classes, reading up on baby care, and gathering supplies. They've chosen to avoid learning the genders of the babies and want to be surprised at birth. When asked what her hopes are for the future, Amy said, "Just health and happiness. I want these babies to feel safe and loved. I want Chris and me to grow as parents, partners, and people. It's not how I expected to spend this chapter of my life, but I wouldn't change it." The twins are due in the fall. The couple has said they're open to sharing occasional updates, but plan to stay mostly private as they prepare for the arrival of their children. As Amy put it, "This is for us, for our family. We're just thankful." Marek and Amy Roloff are officially divorced. After nearly 4 years of marriage, the couple decided to end their relationship quietly. The announcement came through a short joint statement released privately, with no public fanfare or major media appearances. Friends close to the couple confirmed that the decision had been coming for several months. The tone of their separation, according to sources, was respectful and calm. Chris and Amy met in 2016 and were engaged by 2019. They married in August 2021 at Roloff Farms, surrounded by friends, family, and a production crew filming for Little People, Big World. For many fans, their wedding symbolized a fresh chapter for Amy, who had finalized her divorce from Matt Roloff 5 years earlier. Amy had described Chris as kind, steady, and emotionally grounded. Chris, in turn, often spoke of Amy as vibrant, strong, and full of character. The marriage, by all outward appearances, seemed healthy. They traveled together. They cooked together. They shared glimpses of their lives on social media. But privately, things had started to shift. Close friends say the couple began feeling distance sometime in late 2023. It started small, with minor disagreements about time, travel, and daily routines. Amy continued working on her cooking content, charity projects, and speaking engagements. Chris spent more time on the road with his real estate career. Their schedules were full, but their connection began to feel thin. By mid-2024, Amy had made a few solo trips back to Michigan to visit family. Chris, meanwhile, stayed in Oregon and was seen less often in family photos. Fans speculated online. Some asked why Chris hadn't appeared on Amy's Instagram for weeks. Others assumed the couple were simply busy or choosing to live more privately. Amy responded subtly, saying she was focused on what matters, without offering specifics. The real conversations began behind closed doors. Chris and Amy reportedly started counseling together in the fall of 2024. Friends say both wanted to understand whether the issues were temporary or something deeper. Over several months, they tried to reconnect. They scheduled weekly dinners. They took a short trip to the coast. They paused filming. But something still felt off. Amy, according to a close source, said she missed feeling seen. Chris said he missed feeling heard. By the new year, they were no longer living in the same home full-time. Chris moved into a smaller rental space near Portland. Amy remained in the home they purchased after their wedding. She began making changes, painting the kitchen, rearranging furniture, and spending more time with her grandkids. Zach and Tori visited frequently. Jeremy and Audrey brought the twins over. Molly sent long emails. Amy, while quiet about it all, began to find her own rhythm again. Chris kept a low profile. He told mutual friends he respected Amy deeply and didn't want to make their personal lives public. When asked why the marriage ended, he simply said, "We stopped connecting in the way we used to." There was no dramatic fallout. No cheating. No shouting. No legal battles. Just two people who had grown apart in a quiet and respectful way. The divorce was finalized in the spring of 2025. Oregon family court documents showed an uncontested filing and a clean division of assets. Amy retained their home and the majority of household items. Chris took his business and vehicle. No alimony or extended financial arrangements were requested. The documents reflected maturity and agreement. In the days after the divorce became public, Amy posted a single quote, "Change isn't always the end. Sometimes it's a beginning." She did not mention Chris. She didn't answer questions from fans. Instead, she shared a photo of her garden and a video of herself baking cookies with one of her grandsons. Chris remained silent on social media. Friends say Amy's focus now is family, healing, and new projects. She has continued teaching occasional cooking classes and hosting community events. She has also begun writing again. Not a memoir this time, but a children's book she's been thinking about for years. She told a friend, "This isn't how I imagined things would go, but I'm okay. I really am." Chris has returned to real estate full-time. He's been traveling more, Washington, Idaho, California, working with longtime clients and speaking at industry events. He's not dating. According to a close colleague, he's spending time with himself and being still. He moved into a two-bedroom condo outside Portland and has been slowly filling it with new furniture, a few plants, and a small collection of vintage maps. The Roloff family has responded quietly. Matt reportedly called Chris and offered his support. "We're all family here," he said. Zach and Jeremy each reached out as well. Zach told his father-in-law that the kids would still be calling him Papa Chris. Jeremy sent a text. "You've been a good guy to Mom. That matters." Tori and Audrey, the sisters-in-law, have continued to include both Amy and Chris in family gatherings, but with sensitivity to their new dynamic. Amy has attended more frequently. Chris has stepped back for now. One of the hardest parts, according to Amy, was explaining things to the grandchildren. While they're young, they know Chris. He's been there for birthdays, holidays, and bedtime stories. Amy reportedly sat them down and said, "Chris and I are going to live in different houses now, but we both still love you very much." The children asked questions. They hugged her. They went outside to play. Amy and Chris have agreed to remain in touch. They are not estranged. They occasionally exchange texts, checking in about shared memories, mutual friends, and practical things like mail or recipes. But for now, they are walking different roads. The fans of Little People, Big World have reacted with a mix of sadness and support. Many hoped this chapter would last forever. Others respected the quiet way the couple handled their decision. Messages flooded Amy's comment sections. "You are strong. Thank you for showing us what grace looks like." New beginnings can be beautiful. Chris has received fewer messages, but those who know him say he's content with that. He never wanted to be in the spotlight. He loved Amy. He gave what he could. And now, he's choosing to move forward with peace. It's unclear whether Amy will return to television. Some speculate she may appear in a spin-off or docu-style series focused on cooking, grandparenting, or storytelling. She hasn't said yes. She hasn't said no. Right now, she's choosing quiet. Chris has no plans to return to the show either. His life is back to business, back to solo dinners and morning walks, back to simplicity. And according to those who know him, that's just how he likes it. In the end, their divorce wasn't marked by headlines or drama. It was marked by maturity, kindness, and closure. A marriage that brought joy and comfort, now complete. A goodbye that doesn't end the story, just changes the direction. Amy and Chris are no longer husband and wife. But they're not bitter. They're not broken. They're just two people who shared a chapter and are now writing new ones, apart. Zach Roloff had been quiet on social media for several months. After stepping back from Little People, Big World, he and his family retreated from the public spotlight. At first, fans assumed he was simply taking a break, enjoying fatherhood, and spending time off camera. But as the weeks turned into months, speculation grew. His wife, Tori, had also slowed down on sharing photos. Their podcast had ended. Joint appearances had stopped. When the news finally surfaced that Zach and Tori had quietly separated in early spring, fans were both shocked and saddened. No public announcement had been made, and both remained respectful and silent about their decision. They were seen separately with the children, continuing to co-parent peacefully, but no longer appearing together. A source close to the couple later shared that they had made the decision privately after trying for more than a year to work through differences in lifestyle, priorities, and long-term goals. It wasn't until midsummer that Zach was spotted with someone new. The photo, captured by a passerby in a small cafe in Vancouver, Washington, showed Zach having coffee with a woman who was clearly not Tori. They appeared relaxed, deep in conversation, and smiling. The woman, later identified as Emily Larson, was not part of the reality TV world. She worked in community outreach for a nonprofit organization focused on adaptive youth sports. Zach met Emily through a mutual friend at a school fundraiser earlier in the year. At the time, he was still adjusting to life after his separation. According to those close to him, he wasn't actively seeking a relationship. But conversations with Emily came easily. She understood his background, appreciated his love for family, and shared a passion for supporting children with disabilities. Their friendship grew gradually. They talked about parenting, sports, and shared values. Emily, who had no children of her own, admired Zach's dedication to his 3 kids, and never pushed for more than he was ready to give. For a long time, they kept things simple. They met for coffee. They walked in the park. They spent hours talking without pressure. Eventually, Zach introduced her to a few friends, then to his brother Jacob, and finally, after several months, to his children. Zach took the introduction slowly. He had always been a devoted father, and his children's well-being came first. Jackson, Lila, and Josiah were still adjusting to their new routine. They were living with Tori most of the time, but Zach had regular parenting time and kept a bedroom for each child at his home. He made sure the kids saw Emily as someone friendly and warm, not a replacement or disruption. Emily met the children at a small park gathering where Zach and Tori both attended. The former couple had agreed to remain civil and cooperative for the sake of their children. Tori had already known of Emily's presence in Zach's life. While sources say the meeting was emotionally complex, it went smoothly. Tori had reportedly moved forward as well and respected Zach's choices. Though they were no longer a couple, they had agreed that each would be free to pursue happiness on their own terms. By fall, those closest to Zach described him as more grounded. He had taken a step back from public speaking and podcasting and was focusing more on local community work. Emily supported his efforts, often volunteering alongside him at events. She helped organize an adaptive soccer day for children with dwarfism and other physical conditions. Zach helped coach. Emily managed the schedule. Together, they created something meaningful. Family members responded with cautious optimism. Amy Roloff, Zach's mother, had met Emily at a family dinner. Sources said she appreciated Emily's sincerity and the respectful way she approached the family dynamic. Amy remained close to Tori and maintained her role as a grandmother with both sides of the family. Matt Roloff, Zach's father, was more reserved. The two had not fully reconciled after years of disagreements, but Matt kept his opinions private and supported Zach's desire for peace. His fiancée, Karen Chandler, reached out to Emily to welcome her. The extended family, although somewhat fractured over the years, had become more practiced at navigating new dynamics. As the holidays approached, Zach and Emily planned a quiet trip to the Oregon coast with the kids. Tori spent the holidays with her parents in Washington. Both households shared gifts, photos, and stories, choosing cooperation over conflict. It was not easy, but it was steady. By the end of the year, Zach felt ready to talk more openly. In a small interview with a local parenting magazine, he shared that life had changed in ways he didn't expect, but that he was grateful. He said he was learning to balance parenthood, healing, and new beginnings. He didn't name Emily in the piece, but he spoke of a kind person who has helped me feel like myself again. Emily, for her part, remained quietly in the background. She had no interest in becoming a public figure. She supported Zach without needing attention. Her friends described her as low-key, generous, and thoughtful. She continued her work at the nonprofit, keeping her professional life and relationship separate. Zach's children were adjusting well. Jackson, now 8, had become more independent and loved helping with his younger siblings. Lila was developing strong opinions about her clothes and loved reading bedtime stories with her dad. Josiah, the youngest, was walking and talking more and seemed comfortable in both households. Tori and Zach had developed a rhythm. Though the initial separation had been painful, time and communication helped them rebuild trust, not as a couple, but as co-parents. Tori had also begun dating someone new. She had not made her relationship public, but close friends confirmed that she was happy and focusing on her own journey. Zach knew that not everyone would understand his choices. Some longtime fans of the show hoped he and Tori would reconcile. Others were skeptical of any new relationship so soon after a long marriage. But Zach was not trying to please everyone. He was trying to live honestly, carefully, and with compassion. He and Emily continued seeing each other regularly, but kept their relationship measured. They were not rushing into commitments. For Zach, the most important thing was stability for his children. For Emily, it was about building trust and offering support. They didn't talk about the future often. They talked about the present. What books the kids were reading, what to make for dinner, which community project to help with next. That simplicity brought peace. For now, Zach and Emily are moving forward, side by side. Not with big announcements or bold declarations, but with quiet steps, shared values, and a commitment to building something healthy and real. They aren't trying to replace the past. They're simply trying to honor it while creating something new. And for Zach, after everything, after childhood on TV, family conflict, health challenges, and personal transformation, that might be the most meaningful relationship of all.